Oh, welcome back to another episode. Yeah, I'm gonna take all of this stuff and try to make a diagnostic box for my 1,000 horsepower mud truck. If you're into racing or happen to have a solid roller cam or just an engine that's cranky and likes to be tuned around a lot, then well, I'm gonna build a rocker box that's gonna be part of under the hood and well, my back is so blown out. I was gonna do another video for you guys, and man, having a hard time just moving around. So, who would have figured that moving a tire out of a damn Jimmy would have screwed me for this long? But it is what it is. Here's another video. I hope you guys enjoy. Maybe it's useful to you guys. That Jimmy there, front diff burnout. I see it's got 7 likes on it. Wonder what'll happen if it hits 10. You guys want to go back and push her up there for me? Oh, that'd be awesome. Trust me, it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. Anyway, okay. Got this old switch I've had laying around forever, and well, she just found a home. So, free. Can't complain. Box, $2, $3. Walmart special. Okay, this switch I've had forever. I flatten the blades on them just so I can make them fit in there better. A little more room. Plastic, yeah, I know. But I have a philosophy in it, and maybe it'll make sense, maybe it won't. Anyway, I got to make a jumper wire. I wasn't going to use this box because it was almost too tall for the switch, because I was going to put the switch in this way, right? Which makes sense. 3 buttons, 3 ways, but it's too tall. Lid won't close. So, drill a hole on the side. Right through there. And the button will stick out the side. Through there. Problem solved. Everything should fit in there hunky-dory. Oh yeah, plenty of room. Anyway, gotta flatten the blades on those a little bit. Build a jumper wire. And then a little bit of soldering action. Drilling. Anyway. Take your rings off. They're locking rings. Figure out where you want everything placed. So it's an 1.75 inch mark from the edge. 1.75 inch mark. Close enough. Take the old Jiffy. Give her a little book right there. And then what, 3/4 inch? No. Hold on, let's see here. Right there. And again, just a little dab there so you know where that goes. Alright, I'll get these drilled and hold on, I'll be right back. For this, I'll be using the step bit. I don't know if you guys can see that all that well, but Canadian Tire, $20 for the 3 little ones on sale. These things are amazing. If you're not drilling deep holes, these things save you a bunch of drill bits. Anyway, yeah, let me get this put together here. Hold on. Alright. Holes punched out, fairly straight even. Not bad. Okay, let's drag some switches in there just to check out the placement here. That one was a little big. That one was a little big. A little big of a hole, but that's okay. That's alright. They make washers for that. I still gotta find the switch covers here. Should have some laying around, but yeah. See, I screwed up there. I made the mistake of measuring out for that shaft, or that thing to fit through here, which it would fit just perfectly. Actually, a little even sealed. But these ones are smaller. This has got the smaller shaft on them right here. So, here's my wrench. Hold on, I'll get that fitted together here. Alright, just for a quick tech tip here. See those two notches on the top part of the switch? Right here and here. If you line those two up top to top, both your switches will either be on upwards or off downwards. So anyway, let me finish this up here and get it put together. Alright, I got the starter button switch mounted in there sideways. I had to flatten the blades a little more. See if the cover fits. Look at that, she's gonna work. Okay, now I gotta make some jumper wires. I gotta put that back on. I figured I'll leave it off so I don't break it off. Once it's done, and won't have to worry about it, but this will be a safety switch for the starter button, because you just never know. Kick that on, and then this is going to be for my ignition to turn on and turn off the truck, your engine. And this will serve purpose for checking oil pressure, doing compression tests, setting up your solid roller lash, finding top dead center. I mean, the benefits of it are just mind-boggling. But anyway, let me get this sucker wired up and drill one more hole. And yeah, show you the finished product here. Oh, another thing too, for your ignition and starter wire, you're going to want to run 10 gauge at minimum. Reason being, there's going to be a lot of current drawing to the solenoid on the starter from your button. And your ignition, if you run a high amp ignition system like a 6AL, HEI Pro, Pro Billet, etc., they take a lot more juice than a standard HEI ignition system, high energy ignition. Yeah, but if you run a normal one, you could probably get away with the smaller wire, but thicker the wire, the better. Less chance of it melting down your wires on you. So anyway, hold on. I'll get my jumper wire put together here for the switch. It's going to go between those two. One wire coming out of here, one wire coming out of there. That switch will be wired up. Wire up this one, send it out that way. Tape them up so I know what's what. And go put her in the truck. Oh, another tech tip. If you are going to solder wires together, helpful little tip. Get your wires soldered on one side and get that sucker so that it absorbs the solder. Well, takes the solder. And then take your other piece and you do the same thing. You get the solder started on that, and then when you go to join them, you don't have such a hard time fighting to get your joints together. Anyway, hold on a second. And there you have it, just like that. Hopefully you guys can see that. Come on. Focus. Focus. Right there. Right here. Over here. Up here. Right there. No. Down. Right here. Too close. Oh, muffin. Anyway, you get the idea. She is not coming off of her. Oh, and by the way, that's an old used eye. Why? Because these things are expensive and I like doing things free, cheap. Anyway, let me get the other end on there and I'll hook up the jumper. Alright, you guys. Figured I would show you what I mean by a soldered, easy solder connection. Here's the wire. I'm gonna put some solder on there first. You don't need much heat. You can just barely see the flame here. If you can hear it, it's too loud. Good way to gauge it anyway. A little bit of heat, get her nice and warm. So you can just about feel it in the other end of the wire there. And then you start putting on your solder. Pay attention to what you're doing, never mind the camera screen. Alright, there it is. Just like that. Now I take this piece. Oh yeah, that's on. Take this piece, put it something like that, heat her up, and just watch it melt right into place. Maybe I should open that up a little better, but anyway, you get the idea. By the way, if you're going to solder, do it in a well-ventilated area because this stuff is really nasty. It's been known to cause cancer. I mean, you guys probably know the spiel, but for the people that don't, you do now. And I got windows in here, so technically I'm well ventilated. Yeah, I know they're not open. Anyway, hold on a second. Alright. That flame there is actually a little too much. Right about there is what you want to solder with if you're going to solder with the flame. If not, use the proper iron. Whatever, to each their own. I know how to solder with both, and I actually don't mind using a torch, but any ideas why I soldered this together and heat shrinked it so it doesn't fall apart? It's going to be in a high vibration area, and last thing I need to do is be trying to fix a diagnostic box when I'm supposed to be working on an engine to possibly race. But yeah, anyway, hold on. Let me get her installed. Alright, we got the main power wire for the starter button soldered, shrink tubed. Anyway, yeah, hold on. Alright, so I've been using these. I've been cutting them down at the ends, which would be this part here. Cut straight down with an X-Acto knife on both sides just so I can rescue the little slip connector out of that plastic piece, because these plastic pieces are just nothing but a joke and a pain in the butt. So anyway, I'll show you what it looks like here when I cut her up. Okay, so peeled down the sides, opened it up, and you should be able to slide this little connector right out. Theoretically. So anyway, yeah, there we go. Rescued. Anyway, I'm just going to open up the little spot where your wire goes in, so I can fit a little extra wire in there and solder that up. I'll show you in a minute here. Don't forget your shrink tube. I like using shrink tube because it just looks good. Professional. Anyway, hold on. Okay, some real-time soldering action here. I know it's probably not you guys want to see. Well, maybe you do. I don't know. You want to build a little heat in there anyway. Get her warm. How do you know? Solder will start taking to it. Look at that. Just like it was magic. Boom. That's it. That easy. That sucker. Is not coming off of there. for life. Never have to worry about that sucker vibrating free or getting vibrated loose. Hold on. Same thing with your shrink tube. Don't forget about that. A little bit of heat goes a long way. You don't need to just cook it with a great big flame. Nice tiny little, about a cigarette lighter flame. And don't kid yourself, you can solder with a cigarette lighter too. Maybe I'll do that on the next solder job. Just to show you guys that you can solder with a cigarette lighter. You don't need a torch. You don't need a fancy iron. Anyway, my camera just don't want to focus on the... Oh, there we go. Look at that beautiful solder job. That sucker's not moving. Anyway, into the box. Hold on. Alright, again. I got my wire soldered, and it's going to be hard to tell, but there's a big gob hanging off of it there that I put for excess solder. Right? Man, this phone will just focus once in a while. I wonder people go buy cameras anyway. Yeah, anyway, you see there's a big gob of solder there. Well, I also soldered my switch right there. And these two are going to get re-soldered together. And now that they both have solder on them, they'll solder together nicely. Like such. But you want to have that big gob hanging off your pre-soldered wire. That way you don't have a lack of solder to attach to. Anyway, here, let me show you. Alright, just like that. She's stuck together. Hope I didn't just wreck that fucking switch. Anyway, hold on. Alrighty, I got the switch belt, switch panel I should say, switch box. Switches aren't perfectly straight, but not 100% finished yet. I'm just going to test out the switches, make sure they're working. This should be the master power for my start button. We got life. Now if I shut that off, nothing. No power. Alright, well that's her. So, switch is built. Oh, by the way, this is my little test light apparatus here. 9-volt battery and an old car light. Right on. Works all minty. Yeah, there it is. Ignition for your distributor. Turn it on. Turn your redundancy for your starter button on. And boom. Fired up. Anyway, next thing is to install it in the truck. Tape up these wires, separate the ones for ignition and the ones for the starter. Put the ends on, tie it into my Summit switch panel. And yeah, that'll be tomorrow's video. I'll install my oil pressure sending unit, or oil pressure gauge, manual one. I got a hard line and a soft line. And I'll install this and we'll do an oil pressure check. Do a compression check. Who knows, maybe I'll even fire up 1,000 horsepower for the world to see. The baddest square body, big block powered Chevy on planet Earth, man. 1.4 barrel carb, naturally aspirated 4x4. Show me a better one, and I'll submit. Till then, actually, you know what? There's one more little touch here we need. One more little touch. Need a little Canadian camo to fix them locks up a little better, because they're just not quite up to the job. So we're gonna Canadian camo that bad boy a little bit. Oh. All right. There it is, all in its ugliness. Sealed up. Fairly sealed, I should say. I shouldn't say fully sealed, but sealed enough that it'll last under the hood. I know this switch isn't straight, but tell you, that's a bugger getting them suckers in there really good. Let's see if I can get it to slide back this way a little bit better. No, it's that one wire, one jumper wire. I gotta put a bit of curl in it. But yeah, if you ever need to service it, you just pull your Canadian camo off and give her a shot. Let her have the beans. Anyway, yeah, if you like that, please like it, share, comment, subscribe would be awesome. I don't know what's going on with subscribers, but I think I should be a lot farther down the road here. Unless you guys are scared of big block Chevys, 1,000 horsepower, square bodies, stuff like that. If you come to this channel for that, let me know. If you want me to... Hell, you got a suggestion on what you want me to do or build. What do you think would be a good project? And that anything goes. Just because it's playing with horsepower does not mean that I'm limited to certain types of horsepower. Horsepower can mean anything. If you haven't noticed my homemade RC thing there. That's not really horsepower, but whatever. And yeah. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Email is playingwithhorsepower@gmail.com.